Do you remember those school lunches that made you grin or maybe wrinkle your nose, but still left a mark on your childhood? The sandwiches that seniors talk about today with a mix of laughter, nostalgia, and pride, flavors that shaped a generation. Some were simple, some were downright quirky, but each one carried a story of cafeteria chatter, brown paper bags, and memories that stuck like glue. We are diving into 10 forgotten school sandwiches you ate in your childhood, so buckle up, because this ride is packed with flavor, memory, and surprises. And hey, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment with your own sandwich story, because these memories deserve to live on. Number 1, onion sandwich. Can you smell it already? That sharp bite of raw onion tucked between 2 slices of bread, sometimes softened with a swipe of butter or mayo. Back in the day, kids carried onion sandwiches in their lunch bags, and seniors still chuckle about how bold that flavor was. It wasn't fancy, but it sure was unforgettable. Some say it was a working-class staple, cheap and quick, while others remember it as a dare. Only the brave kids took a bite without tearing up. The excitement came from the crunch, the sting, and the way it lingered long after recess. Think about it. Onion sandwiches weren't just food. They were a badge of toughness, a memory of cafeteria tables where kids swapped bites and stories. And here's the kicker. Those simple layers carried pride, resilience, and a taste of childhood that's hard to forget. Number 2, Sardine Sandwich. Can you picture the boldness of opening your lunch bag and catching that salty whiff of sardines tucked between bread? Back in the day, sardine sandwiches were a powerhouse. Cheap, packed with protein, and a taste that seniors still remember with a grin or a shake of the head. Some kids loved the oily richness, others tried to trade it away, but either way, it made an impression. The thrill was in the bite, strong, briny, and unforgettable, a flavor that lingered long after recess. Think about it. Sardine sandwiches weren't just food, they were a statement, proof that families stretched every dollar while still sending their kids off with something hearty. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried pride, resilience, and a memory of childhood lunches where even the boldest flavors had their place. Number 3, Bologna and mustard sandwich. Think back to those school days when a bologna and mustard sandwich was tucked inside a brown paper bag waiting to be unwrapped. That tangy mustard spread across soft bread with a slice of bologna gave kids a taste that was sharp, simple, and straight to the point. Seniors still laugh about how common it was. Some loved the zing, others tried to swap it for peanut butter, but everyone remembers it. The thrill came from that first bite, the mustard kick cutting through the salty meat, a flavor that stuck in memory long after recess ended. These sandwiches weren't just lunch, they were a snapshot of childhood, proof that families kept it quick, cheap, and filling. And here's the punch. Bologna and mustard wasn't fancy, but it carried pride, resilience, and the taste of growing up in an era when simple food told big stories. Number 4, tomato sandwich. Can you taste it already? Thick slices of fresh tomato laid between soft bread, sometimes sprinkled with salt, pepper, or a swipe of mayo. Back in school days, tomato sandwiches were a summertime classic, simple yet bursting with flavor. Seniors still recall biting into those juicy layers, the bread soaking up every drop, turning lunch into a messy but unforgettable treat. Some kids loved the freshness, others thought it was too plain, but everyone remembers the way it stood out in a lunch bag. The excitement came from that first bite, bright, tangy, and full of sunshine, a flavor that carried the season straight into the cafeteria. Think about it. Tomato sandwiches weren't just food, they were a memory of gardens at home, family kitchens, and the pride of bringing something wholesome to school. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried the taste of summer, a reminder that even the simplest ingredients could make childhood feel rich and alive. Number 5. Mayonnaise and pepper sandwich. Can you imagine the simplicity of 2 slices of bread spread with creamy mayo, then dusted with black pepper for a kick? Back in school days, this sandwich was a quick fix, but seniors still recall how that sharp bite of pepper turned plain mayo into something bold. Some kids loved the smooth, spicy combo, others thought it was too bare bones, but everyone remembers the way it stood out. In a lunch bag, the thrill came from that first bite, creamy, tangy, and then the pepper heat sneaking in, a flavor that lingered through recess. Think about it. Mayonnaise and pepper sandwiches weren't just food, they were proof of resourcefulness, a memory of families making something out of little. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried pride, grit, and a taste of childhood that was simple yet unforgettable. Number 6. Lettuce and mayo sandwich. Can you picture the crunch of crisp lettuce layered between slices of bread, softened by a spread of creamy mayo? Back in school days, this sandwich was the definition of simple, light, fresh, and easy to pack. Seniors still recall how it felt like a cool bite in the middle of a hot day, a quick fix that carried more memory than flavor. Some kids loved the refreshing crunch, others teased that it was rabbit food, but everyone remembers the way it showed up in lunch bags. The excitement came from that first bite, crisp, creamy, and clean, a taste that stood out because of its simplicity. Think about it. Lettuce and mayo sandwiches weren't just food, they were a reminder of families stretching what they had, turning basic ingredients into something that still carried pride. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches were proof that even the plainest bites could leave behind unforgettable memories of childhood. Number 7. Banana and mayo sandwich. Can you picture the surprise of peeling a banana, slicing it, and laying it between bread with a thick spread of mayo? Back in school days, this sandwich was the definition of quirky. Sweet meeting creamy in a way that made kids either love it or laugh at it. Seniors still recall the odd combo, some swearing it was comfort food, others saying it was a dare from the lunchroom. The thrill came from that first bite, the soft sweetness of banana clashing with the tang of mayo, a flavor that stuck in memory long after recess. Think about it. Banana and mayo sandwiches weren't just food, they were a snapshot of childhood creativity, proof that families made do with what they had and turned it into something unforgettable. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried pride, humor, and a taste of growing up in an era when even the strangest combos told a story. Number 8. Egg salad sandwich. Can you picture the smell of boiled eggs mashed with mayo, mustard, and a sprinkle of seasoning tucked between slices of bread? Back in school days, egg salad sandwiches were a lunchtime classic. Creamy, filling, and sometimes a little messy. Seniors still recall the way those sandwiches showed up at picnics, cafeterias, and lunch bags, carrying both comfort and a punch of flavor. Some kids loved the rich, tangy taste, others wrinkled their noses at the smell, but everyone remembers the way it stood out in the crowd. The thrill came from that first bite, smooth, savory, and satisfying, a flavor that lingered long after recess. Think about it. Egg salad sandwiches weren't just food. They were a memory of family kitchens, quick fixes, and the pride of bringing something homemade to school. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried warmth, tradition, and a taste of childhood that still makes folks smile today. Number 9, Spam and cheese sandwich. Can you picture the salty bite of Spam fried up or straight from the can, layered with a slice of cheese, tucked between bread? Back in school days, Spam and cheese sandwiches were a lunchroom legend. Cheap, filling, and packed with flavor that seniors still recall with a grin. Some kids loved the hearty combo. Others teased it as mystery meat. But everyone remembers the way it stood out in a brown paper bag. The thrill came from that first bite, the savory punch of Spam melting into the creamy cheese, a taste that lingered long after recess. Think about it. Spam and cheese wasn't just food, it was a memory of families making the most of what they had, turning simple pantry staples into something bold. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried grit, humor, and a taste of childhood that still makes folks smile today. Number 10, cold meatloaf sandwiches. Can you picture pulling out a thick slice of last night's meatloaf, chilled and tucked between bread, sometimes with ketchup or mustard smeared on top? Back in school days, cold meatloaf sandwiches were a heavy hitter, hearty, filling, and a taste that seniors still recall with pride. Some kids loved the rich, savory bite. Others thought it was too much for lunch, but everyone remembers the way it stood out in a brown paper bag. The thrill came from that first bite, dense, flavorful, and packed with the comfort of home cooking, a flavor that lingered long after recess. Think about it. Cold meatloaf sandwiches weren't just food, they were a memory of family dinners carried into the schoolyard, proof that leftovers could become a badge of love and resourcefulness. And here's the spark. Those sandwiches carried warmth, grit, and a taste of childhood that still makes folks smile today. And that's the lineup. 10 school sandwiches that once ruled the lunchroom, now tucked away in memory. From onion and sardine to cold meatloaf, each bite carried laughter, pride, and the grit of growing up in a time when simple food told big stories. Seniors still smile when they recall these flavors, proof that even the quirkiest combos left a mark on childhood. These weren't just sandwiches, they were snapshots of American life, packed in brown paper bags and carried with pride. If these memories made you grin or stirred up nostalgia, don't let them fade. Like this video, share it with friends, subscribe for more journeys into forgotten food traditions, and drop a comment with your own sandwich story. Together, we'll keep these flavors alive, one memory at a time.